Hello divine beings, peace, love, abundance, blessings. Today I'm doing a video on working with Eros, who is also known as Cupid, and Psyche. And Eros, who is also known as Cupid, is what Valentine's Day is all about. But Eros has a lover who is Psyche, and Psyche in Greek mythology actually went through her goddess initiation, through her devotion and love for Eros, and all the ways that she was willing to go through obstacles and adversities to be with them. So when we are looking at Psyche, who means soul, and Eros, who means love, we are looking at soul level love, soulmate based love. So if you are ready for love, or if you're like, yo, I want to heal a relationship, Eros and Psyche can be very powerful guides for you. But I will say this first and foremost. Love means surrender. Love means vulnerability. Love means being open. Love means strength. Love means exposure. And they will get you love, but you have to understand first and foremost that you must have an open heart. And if you're not there yet, they will guide you toward opening up your heart chakra. They can also teach you self-love. They can also teach you how to add romance, sparkle, and shine into your own life. If you want to dedicate any candles to them, pink and red are the go-to colors, very Valentine's Day themed. Roses are their flower, so are violets. And I would also say for herbs, dried roses, lavenders, you can put that on their pink and red candles. You can put some agave because agave is sweet. And when you have them in your altar space, you'll just feel this sense of sweetness. You'll feel this sense of joy. You'll feel this sense of celebration and laughter. And for offerings as libations, they too take champagne, they do take pink wine. They like a celebration, they like a sweet celebration. They also like chocolate because chocolate is seen as representative of love and sensuality. So those are some things you can offer. You can burn some patchouli incense, some rose incense as well. Now, what I really love about Psyche and Eros is that they teach you to really surrender to the power and strengths of love. They teach you that love is the strongest vibration on this planet, and even their story in Greek mythology shows so much of that. So the story goes that Psyche was a regular human, but was a very beautiful human. And she was so beautiful that people couldn't see her as approachable. They almost saw her as a goddess already, and that very much upsetted Aphrodite because she was compared to Aphrodite for her beauty, and there could only be one goddess of beauty, baby. So that created some tensions, and Aphrodite told her son Eros, or Cupid, to shoot a dart at Psyche to make her fall in love with somebody who was very ugly, very unattractive. So Psyche goes ahead and is on this mission to help her mom. And when she sees Psyche's beauty, he freaks out and he ends up shooting that arrow of love right back to himself. He ends up pricking his finger with it. And this shows us that love is so strong that even the gods, the Greek gods, fall for it. And this shows us that love is the strongest force and vibration on this planet. So from there, he falls in love with her. And Psyche is struggling to find suitors. Her father struggles to find her suitors. And her father goes to the temple of Apollo to get divination and wisdom. Now, Apollo and Cupid have beef because Cupid may have made Apollo fall in love with the dwarf. And that dwarf ended up being so afraid of Apollo's godliness that she formed herself into a tree. So, the Greek gods have beef. A lot of gods have beef in a lot of pantheons. So it is what it is. But basically, what was prophesized to Psyche's dad was that Psyche was going to fall in love with a very ugly monster and she had to be given away. Now, that ugly monster was actually Cupid himself. So Psyche's dad leaves her in this mountain, and the gods, the god of the wind, the east wind, takes her into Cupid's palace. Now, this palace is beautiful, and Psyche's starstruck and is like, yo, this is classy. But as she's going in, Cupid hides himself, and they make a deal. Cupid makes a deal and says, I will treat you good, I will be your lover, but you can never see me. And the reason why was because he was a god and she was a mortal, and he felt like he had to conceal himself. So that's a lot of tea, right? That sets up this very juicy storyline, this very juicy situation. And what ends up happening is that Psyche and Eros have some really good ass chemistry. They're falling in love with each other, even though Psyche can't see who she is. So this really shows us that notion of love is quote unquote blind. And what that means is that it's not that love is aimless or love is dumb. It's more so that even when there is a physical attraction, a surface level attraction, what really makes or breaks a relationship is that soul level connection. And Psyche means what? Soul, all right? So this goes to show that sometimes love can break our superficial expectations and have us surrender to a higher frequency, to a higher force. So from there, Psyche's having a great time, but Psyche has two sisters, and these sisters are a little jealous that Psyche's bragging about how good her relationship is and how good her man treats her. And they're just like, yo, the sisters that are jealous are like, yo, but you don't even know how he looks like. So how do you even know this love is really real? Or how do you know this love is really true? And if it was prophesied that he's supposed to be a monster, what makes you think that you're safe? And what makes you think that one day he won't like demolish you or destroy you or something like that? So from there, Psyche's now consumed by what her sisters have said, and now she's anxious, and now she's spiraling, and now she's gonna break the deal that they made. And this teaches us, one, you can't listen to what other people tell you about love, especially when they're jealous, especially when they're haters. And two, you can't listen to your ego when it comes to matters of love. Love is surrender, all right? So love is pure devotion. It's almost like love is like spirituality, where you devote yourself, where you surrender to the path. So Psyche's now with a candlestick and a dagger, just in case her man is a monster. And you know, it's actually Cupid or Eros, who's freaking fine, who's a whole god, especially a god of love. Like, of course he don't treat you right, but she don't know yet. She was treated right, but because she can't see him, and her sisters have thrown this whole storyline at her. Now she's nervous. Now she's anxious. So boom, she goes in and she's with the candlestick and trying to see him while he's sleeping in the dark. And then boom, some of that wax falls on Cupid and he's hurt and he's just shook. And he's like, yo, what happened? And from there, Cupid is like, yo, you broke the deal. Psyche shook like, oh my gosh, you're so freaking beautiful. And he ends up leaving. So he ends up going back to his mom's crib, who is Aphrodite, and Aphrodite already don't like Psyche because Psyche is so freaking beautiful and people compared them. So now Psyche's like, yo, Aphrodite's like, yo, you just broke my son's heart and now you're out here, you know, being compared to me. Yeah, you can't see him no more. And Psyche's upset. Psyche's in love with him. Psyche realizes she made a big mistake, and Psyche wants to prove herself to Aphrodite. So Aphrodite gives her a series of very difficult obstacles that she must perform in order to be able to be back with Cupid or Eros. Now, these obstacles are crazy. One of them includes her having this whole mountain filled of grains, and she has to separate each grain one by one into these little mountains. Now imagine picking up a bunch of chia seeds and flax seeds and putting them in mountains and separating them all in one night. And she's like, okay, I'll do it because this is my man and I want to get my man back. So she's so devoted that these ants nearby her, these magical ants, see her and are like, yo, let us help you. So they organize and pile everything for her. And she shows Aphrodite that she did it. And Aphrodite's like, okay, we're going to do something else. So now Aphrodite has another task. Aphrodite tasks her to now find golden wool from, I believe it was a goat, and a very like these very aggressive goats. So now she's crossing this river to get there. So she's also traveling to bust all these missions. And when she's there, one of the river gods sees her and is like, yo, I see her and I see her love for Cupid. I'm about to help her out. So he helps her out by guiding her where to find wool that's already been shedded, golden wool, and then she gets it and gives it to Aphrodite. So Aphrodite has her perform all these different trials and tribulations, and all these different gods, including Zeus, have her back because they're just watching and they're like, yo, she's really down for Cupid. She's really devoted for love. And that's what she teaches us as a guide, as a spirit guide, as a teacher, is what devotion for love looks like, what surrender for love looks like, what it means to just throw it all down for love because you care that much. And that is true strength, that is true bravery, that is true courage, and that is so much true wisdom. So the last thing she has to do is go all the way into the underworld and go see Persephone, who is both the goddess of spring and the underworld, and get a drop of her beauty and put it in a box. So she's traveling all the way in the underworld, going through the river of Styx, which is the river of the dead. And now she goes into the underworld and she gets this box. And in there, she puts a piece of Persephone's beauty, a little drop of Persephone's beauty. She's going all the way back from the underworld to Aphrodite's palace, and she's like, "I'm finally gonna see my man, so let me take a little piece of that beauty so that I can look good." When she opens it, it ends up putting her to sleep forever, and she ends up dying. So then Cupid notices that, and he runs out of the palace of Aphrodite and goes sees her, and Zeus comes in, and they both deem her worthy of being a goddess for how hard she went for her man, Cupid, all right? Now, she could have given up. She could have been like, you know what? This is not worth it. I'm done. These gods are so intense. They're so tough. But she said, no, I'm going to go all the way through for love. And that's what she teaches you, yo. How to open your heart all the way through for love. How to attract your soulmate. And for some of you, you might have one soulmate. For others, you might have multiple. But she will show you how to be fully devoted to love. And she will guide you toward that divine love. So that is what she is about. When you are working with them, they are getting you toward true and divine love. And that might mean they might have to guide you in healing your heart and opening your heart chakra and releasing past experiences, past pains, so that your heart could be open to true and devotional love. I always see Psyche with Pegasus, so that makes me wonder if Psyche also, has her experiences with Pegasus. And I'll make a video on working with Pegasus in the future, but this is really what Psyche and Cupid are about. Again, for offering champagne, pink wine, chocolates. I'm even seeing like red and pink macaroons, like things that are sweet. They really are about celebration. They'll play love music around you. You'll feel like called to just play love music. And they'll even help you with creativity that deals with heart matters. And that's why we have a lot of songs that are about love. We have a lot of art that's about love, because love can be so strong, y'all, that you can't even sit it in your body. You can't even sit with it. You have to put it elsewhere. And this is where artists can really devote themselves to creation when they are inspired by love. So love is so freaking powerful, and love is so freaking divine. And that's why even Eros scared the gods, and he even scared Zeus, because he had that power over Zeus when it came to matters of love. So it doesn't matter how strong you are. It doesn't matter how cold you are, how smart you are, if you're a god of the underworld or the ruler of Olympus. Love can hit you too. Love can absolutely hit you and open your heart. Now, I'm going to pull some cards and see if Cupid and Psyche have any wisdom that they want to share. The first card that we have is the Eight of Wands. Yeah, they will definitely move you toward your divine lover. They will definitely teach you so much about being ready for love, romanticizing your love, and getting you there, because the Eight of Wands means speed and velocity. So let's see what else is coming up. And if you like this video, please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. The next card that we have is the Nine of Swords, and this really gives like Psyche is definitely this like very strong figure for me, and what she showed me is how to open my heart and how to let go of past heartbreak. So if you want real love, but you might have past heartbreak, she'll purify that with you. So she'll teach you how to purify your heart, how to open your heart, how to release the past, and how to even give gratitude to the relationships that didn't work out, and how to really celebrate those good moments that happen with that. Because when you release your past with love, when you release your past with compassion, with understanding, that is when you attract true and divine love. And the next card that we have is the Crone of Pentacles. The Pentacles represents wealth, but it also represents like earthly happiness. Psyche will guide you toward what happiness on this life looks like, and she is a teacher and a goddess of the divine feminine. She's very much a hidden goddess, and I really, really love her influence in my life with opening my heart. She helps me play a lot of like Ariana Grande music, because Ariana Grande is really about like devotion to love, yo. If you ever listen to her music, it's about the power and rawness and vulnerability of love, and how vulnerability is power. So Psyche will guide you toward opening your heart, opening yourself. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but pink crystals are really good to dedicate to Cupid and Eros, and also to yourself if you're trying to open up your love line. So one of the crystals that I have here is rhodonite, which is really good for heart healing and releasing past pains with love. And here they have me with This one, which is strawberry quartz. Strawberry quartz is also good for attracting divine love. Strawberry quartz is also associated with Krishna and Radha, who are the divine lovers of Hindu mythology. And as you see, we have these divine lover stories, and even Krishna, similar to Eros and Cupid, was a god. And here was Radha, who was like a regular human, or in Greek mythology, it would be Psyche. And because of their love toward this God, because of their devotion and their confidence, and yes, I'm a human, but you know what? I'm worth the God's love. That is how they were able to ascend into goddesshood. So you also are learning with them that you are worth divine love, that you are worth healthy love, that you are worth true love. And if you're gonna light candles for love with them, like definitely write a petition of what your standards for love are, what you want to be treated like, how you want to be treated like, and how you want that love to feel like. All right. The other crystal that they had me work with is rose quartz, which is a very common crystal for heart healing and heart chakra openings. I wear pink when I embody them, red when I embody them, and white when I embody them, because those are colors that just represent, love, represent Valentine's Day, represent Cupid, represent Eros, represent Psyche. So yeah, this is all that I got for y'all. If y'all have any questions, please write them down in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. I'll have more videos, and I'll tie this to my Greek mythology series. All right. Stay beautiful, stay abundant, stay great. I'll see y'all next time.